Us, Soke Yamaue.
Oh, Joshua, how are you?
I am good. I am good, and I'm very excited about part two. Thank you so much for giving your time, taking your time to do these videos. Uh,
Yes.
you have such a rich history and rich background and tremendous knowledge on martial arts that I'm actually surprised that nobody. I'm not. I'm surprised that there's not tons of videos out there already with you where you're being interviewed and people are pulling all the information out of you, because I mean there's not many people on this planet who has all this knowledge in
Yeah.
in one lifetime. So
Okay. Anyway, I give all I have because my philosophy is if I give all the information out, then I get my information, knowledge.
yes, yeah,
If you close and you just want to keep secret, you don't develop.
that's true.
So all the information must go out, then the more knowledge will come in.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is not just me, but some people told me, and I think it's the truth.
Oh, it's absolute true. You will hear this in all spiritual traditions that whatever comes to you is not for you; it's for you to share. Like
Yes,
to become
exactly. Yes,
to become a channel and to share.
yes, yes,
It's in all traditions that this is common knowledge in ancient practices. So
yes.
yeah, lovely. First question: what is this you're wearing? Like you're having on a kimono?
Yes. This is daily working monk clothes.
Yeah,
Not a kind of somewhere, but it is the long one,
yeah,
So then this is just, I have the normal white underwear, a kind of underwear.
yeah.
And then it could be trainings Buddha gi.
Okay.
But it is not for Buddha gi, it is a kind of my underwear,
Yes. Yes.
kimono,
Yeah.
white kimono. Then I have just a daily clothes on.
Yeah.
Yes, this is for in the temple. You wear kimono, but which you can walk, do many things. So it has been closed.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have praying nenju, called praying juzu, which you carry and pray.
Yeah.
Like this. This is 54 pieces.
Yeah.
54 pieces. It's a half size of this one.
Of the large one, yeah.
This one is a long one which you put in on the neck, or you can also do something like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is very basic idea. This is 108 pieces.
Yeah.
108.
And why is it 108? Why?
We have 108 lust, desire, in the Danish called the big air.
Yeah.
It's a kind of the things which I want more, I want more,
Yes.
I want more.
Yes. Yeah.
This is English, the lust or desire.
Yeah.
And human had 108 desires.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. And basically, you want to drink, or you want to sleep, or you want to eat, and you want to have some sex. Also, like this basic idea.
Yeah.
Then you want to smoke, like this, and some people cannot stop smoking and cannot stop, and you get the lung diseases.
Yeah.
Or drinking. You cannot stop. Then you became, alcoholic and die. Eating too much, you die. And drinking too much, you die.
Yes.
The same thing. We have 108 those things. I haven't count. But It's quite difficult to count.
Yeah.
108 problems, which you have to control, and then it became a kind of the balance. Balance, it means I have one or two, and that will be enough.
Yeah.
This kind of balance. But some rich people who want more power, they became crazy, just going after power, and finally you became a dictator.
Yeah.
And then some other people who had the money, and you just become crazy about money and don't care other things.
Mm-hmm.
So a kind of food, money, power, which is necessary in a minimum for you to survive in a happy way. So, too much money make you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But too little money make also another problem.
Yeah.
But as long as, you have some today's modern society, you have money enough to survive, to live.
Yeah.
Then that will be the minimum. That will be enough, actually. You don't need a double portion of food, which you cannot eat. You just eat one portion of food. And then you feel like you are satisfied. You feel like quite okay. And if you have one wife, that will be also enough. And if you need a car to drive, car or bicycle, any transportation, then if you have one car, that will be enough. But some people who have money, they want to have 10 car, 20 cars.
Yeah.
They become crazy. So just, satisfied with the minimum. This is when you are satisfied, when you are alive. This is called the little nirvana.
Oh.
Okay, so it comes the balance, and then you have the feeling like a nirvana. Then still, our human problem, we, as you know, and as I know, we are spiritual being. We are something, spiritual being. But our body is just a normal animal. Dog and cat and pig and cows, we are exactly the same. We are just a simple animal body. But the mind, we have a mind, very, very advanced mind. So we have a body, and our mind is we are spiritual beings. So we have two. Several times you experience also your mind leaving your body and watching you. Something like this can be separated.
Yeah.
So because we are spiritual being.
Yes.
So if by spiritually we can control our desires to the certain level. So it's called the little nirvana. But you need the food, you need something to live as an animal. So when you reach, actually you die. When you die, you are free from your body.
Yes, you're free from the animalistic nature.
Yeah. So then you are free from this 108 problems. So you call that great nirvana. Like Shakyamuni Buddha, he reached in nirvana for he was 33. But anyway, age of 80, he died. Then he became a Buddha, which, you see, I've seen many sleeping Buddha lying.
Yeah.
And he left, his body left, but he is still here. No?
So what's your definition of enlightenment? Would you say, is it possible to be fully enlightened in a physical body?
Fully enlightened as long as you have a human body. And as long as you live, you feel pain and you feel thirsty, and like this basic way of living, as a basic way to continue your living. You need the energy in and or water in or whatever body needed. So you cannot be perfectly enlightened as long as you live. So
Okay.
that's why we divided in the little nirvana, enlightened one, and the fully enlightened one is after you actually.
When you drop the body.
Yeah, you drop the body. So that's the two things. Somebody can leave the half leaving the body, but quite difficult. Ordinary people, when you leave your body, it means you are dead.
Yeah.
The moment you die, you leave your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the very, very basic idea, while you are alive, you cannot. I'm talking about the ordinary people.
Yeah.
You cannot be perfectly enlightened.
So would you say like Buddha himself, while he was in a body, he was not perfectly enlightened?
No. So he became a Buddha when he left his body.
Only when
died.
he left the body, but not while he was in the body.
No, at that time he was teaching about the existence of Buddha. Human have the nature of Buddha. So everybody can try to reach the Buddha. So this is called the little nirvana. And the big nirvana is when you leave your body.
Okay. So I had now 4 near-death experiences. I died, and then I went to the other side, and I came back. And yes. I can totally agree with you on everything you just said. There is definitely freedom on the other side from the animalistic nature, for sure. So,
yes.
And as soon as we're back, we need to breathe, and the heart beats, and digestion, and food, and water, and everything. So definitely we are trapped in the cycles of karma, that all these the laws of this nature is definitely functioning through us, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly. So this is 108.
Yeah.
Board, or being inside, and this is sometimes a little bit too big. So make it the half is the 54.
Yeah.
And put in the hand.
And so how do you use it, like practically? How do you?
Practically is just sometimes just playing and carrying. This is the old-fashioned way. So all the people in temple we carry.
So you say some sutra or some mantra, or what do you do?
And counting and the sutra and playing, quite easy. Then the another type is the kind of with elastic or snow rope. Half side again, 54 half is 27.
Oh, even shorter.
27 piece. So quarter, which is, but today modern times you can find hit to your arm, wrist. So some people using the 21, some people using 24. It is not so important.
Yeah,
but basically the 108, half 54.
Yeah.
And using 27.
Yeah.
Or 21, doesn't matter. It's not important. Important is, this is, okay, behave yourself. Think a kind of, I want to drink more, but yes, I have to behave myself. I can control. I don't need.
Yeah.
So just a kind of the using as controlling yourself. Huh? So this is the remain. I have always in my hand. I said, yes, okay, yes, just behave yourself. You don't need more. Just enough, and you have to stop.
So when your friends call you to ask if you want to go out drinking, you just start sitting there instead, putting your mind, one focus mind, like calming your mind, giving it one focus, and coming back to your center.
Yeah, but if you like to drink 1 or 2 glasses of wine, it won't harm you.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then that will be okay. Then I said, oh, thank you. I enjoyed with my dinner with a nice wine. It was wonderful. So wine is very good,
yeah,
and stop it.
yeah,
Then okay, wine is good for your heart and everything. But if you say, wow, nice feeling, I want more, and suddenly you cannot go and you cannot move, and it goes like this, right? Then the alcohol take over you.
yeah.
So this is the limitation. So you always behave yourself and control yourself.
Yes.
It's just a reminder,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, yeah.
And we have some people asking, shall I put in the left side or right side? And all the time, you know, in India, people are eating with the left hand food. Right hand is to wash your ash
Yeah.
in the toilet because no paper at the time, it's a water
Yeah. Yeah.
washing. So you don't bring the hand which you use to clean your ash.
Yeah.
So you don't bring this on the table. So one hand is down
Yeah.
and one hand is over and touching food.
Yeah.
So like this is the clean hand
Yeah.
and this is the dirty hand.
Yes.
Or if you are left-hander, you use your left hand to wash your ash, and then the right hand is clean.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter which hand. I'm a very reasonable one. So some people say the left hand is okay, right hand is wrong. No, nothing wrong. It's depending on how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
today we use washing hand. We had a very,
Mm-hmm.
nice toilet which you can be washed, and you don't use actually. Even you wash your hand so hand is clean. So you can eat both finger is clean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not important to left hand or right hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is my understanding,
Yeah. Yeah.
But ancient time it's a dirty hand and a clean hand.
Yeah. They have the same traditions in India. In India, they have the same. It's the
The
same.
same. So it came from India originally, and in Japan it's we have very nice toilets, so we don't care.
Yeah. 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 And
Yeah,
I don't think many people are worrying about this anymore.
yeah, and the most of the time left hand I wearing my watch.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I put in the right hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a practical,
Mm-hmm.
Today I don't wear the watch, so
Yeah.
like. But very funny thing is this is 108 piece,
Okay.
which we have because of the 108 problems.
108 problems. Okay.
Yes, desire.
Yeah.
And when in the martial art Budo fighting, we have a Kyusho, the
Yeah.
pain point.
Yeah.
We
Trigger
have
point.
also, acupuncturous. More than 365, more than 360 point in the main point.
Yeah.
But this point, there is about 100 points which give you a shock or pain.
Yeah.
And I located all the places is 100 and also 8 points.
Interesting.
In the human body. Interesting.
They also the number 108. I remember many times I've done research on sacred geometry. So the language of mathematics in form, which is
Yes.
geometry, and the number 108 comes up many times. And so there's something going on with that.
Yes.
that like throughout.
I have checked, but I don't know who found it. But already Shakyamuni Buddha, in about 2,500 years ago, he told me we have to control this 108 things. So they knew already. So in the Indian ancient time, people knew that 108 desire problems.
Yeah.
Very funny thing is, long time ago, I was in the Vatican in Italy,
Yeah.
Vatican City.
Yeah.
And you know the golden cross, the Rosario.
Yeah. They're wearing that, yes.
And some priest said, have you counted? I asked. He said, no. You know how many? We are Buddhists, we believe that it must be the 108. And then the Christian monks took the Jesus Christ 108. And I was also one time in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro's Copacabana beach with my son.
Yeah.
It's about 15 years ago. And we were swimming like this. We found the Rosario plastic one in the sea. You know, we were diving. Took it, then I said to my son, please count how many. He counted like this. Father, this is 108.
Yes. Yeah.
So
it's also the number of Shiva. Here, Shiva.
Yes.
And this is the dancing Shiva. And
yes.
So the number of Shiva is 108. So in Hinduism, it's very big.
So I think it comes from the Hindus base.
Yeah. Yeah.
People, no? But and then, you know, as you know, Jesus was studying in Kashmir when he was 18 to 30s.
Yeah.
So also same. Then he brought up this kind of things.
Absolutely.
To Christianity. So I think the original place it must be the same.
Yeah.
100.
Absolutely. There's one common ancestor of all these spiritual religious practices. My question to you would be: I remember in Goju-ryu karate, there is an image of this dancing god, like an image of the god.
Yeah, it's a Chinese, yes.
And he's standing in the same posture as the Shiva posture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's standing like this, and
yeah, exactly the same posture. Like, it's really interesting to.
Yes.
So I'm just what is this in Goju-ryu karate that they are showing? Who is this? Who is that?
One of the Goju karate is Miyagi Sensei, who is the founder of the Goju-ryu in Okinawa. When he was studying in China, and he brought the wooden figure, brought back and put into his dojo. And almost nobody knows what it means. It's a Chinese kung fu position.
Yeah.
And but it was some people like writing this is because of Busaganashi in Japanese, but it doesn't mean anything. You know, we cannot find any Chinese character. So it's a kind of the name which given to the wooden sculptures. And people put many different kind of legend, but you don't find those things in China. But he bought in China and brought back to Okinawa when he was studying karate in China.
So nobody really knows who it is that it's depicted.
No, and this is not important. I tried to find the name, and but only a few links from the Okinawa Goju-ryu group they are using. All other people are not using. So it is not But I think Miyagi-sensei, founder of the Goju Ryu, he brought it back from China.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Okay.
the fact.
Okay.
So it's quite the same. So I think Chinese people put just some history because through the Buddhism, and it came to Shaolin Temple. Shaolin Temple to scatter. So everybody knows the martial art. Most of the martial art has something to do with the Shaolin Temple.
Yeah.
And Shaolin Temple is a Buddhist temple, and the Buddhism came from India.
Yeah.
So in this way, they went back to the Indian. Then you see the Shiva goddess, which has a Jitsa position. So I think modification.
Yeah.
It came from the same. Just the Jitsuang is 108, but Christian people are using the same thing without thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have the same when you see depictions of the Buddha with the halo from the Kundalini awakening, and you see the same in Jesus Christ. He has the halo.
Exactly same.
It's the
And
same.
So it is who made the first. So it's of course 500 years difference.
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism started, but of course Shakyamuni was not a Buddhist. He was just called Brahman Hindu, this style, and he opened his mind and he found out the new way of living.
Mm-hmm.
And he started his teaching. It became big after his death, and he said he was a Buddha. We call the Shakyamuni Buddha, one of the Buddha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Buddha is the stage how you became.
Yeah. So that's the level of consciousness, and then there's many of the people who have hold that consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is Buddha is not a person. For some people, he is a god, but because Hinduism, there are millions of gods, and then the Buddhism, we are using a lot of Hindu god.
Mm-hmm.
So we say the Buddha and God, Buddha and the Hindu God, many God combination, and even we have 4 great Buddhas. One is the human Buddha, the greatest or biggest in the top is the Buddha of sun, the light.
Oh, and what is he called? What's the name for that?
Dainichi Vairosana.
Ah.
Yeah, Vairosana is the Buddha of light.
Yeah.
So it is Buddha of the sun.
Is that Sanskrit Vajra?
Yeah. No, Vairosana. Vajra is another Vairosana.
Oh, okay. I'm confused.
Maha Vairosana. Maha, it means a great.
Yeah.
So great light, you can
great
see.
Light.
It's the sun. Like, the old Jewish people's Yahweh, the God is the light. Yeah? So the human is the strongest one is the sun. The sun is a kind of the.
So there is a human embodiment that carries that energy.
Yes.
Okay.
So in the Buddhist world, originally it was we call the Higayana or Little Buddhism, and Little Buddhism is the original Buddhism, which is the Shakyamuni Buddha started to teach. And then it's 2,500 years ago. And the Buddhism was turned into the West. Buddhism moved to the West little by little. And then the 2,300, 2,300 years ago. Let's say after couple of 200 years later, Buddhism starts to become more and more coming to the West, Afghanistan and Iran.
There was Buddhism in the Middle East? Really?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
and
wow.
then by the Alexander the Great, 2,250 years ago.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
He brought the Buddhism to Balkan, because Alexander the Great was Macedonian.
Mm.
Okay, so the former Yugoslavia and the Greek and this area.
Yeah, okay.
And the Greek was also the Buddhist country.
That is, how long time ago?
2,300 years ago.
Oh.
After actually the 300 years before the Christianity started.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, there's the yin and the hair cross mark, manji.
Yeah.
Manji marks, one is from starting from left to right, is the love.
Yeah.
Yeah? And right, starting right to left, is power. Love and power, so the two, yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a symbol it came to the Greece.
And how does it look? You said it's a cross?
Yeah, hair cross.
Oh, just a cross? So
no, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, like that. Oh, like the old,
yes.
The misunderstood Nazi symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. Okay.
This is starting from the left.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. This is a love. Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And starting from the right side, power.
Love and power.
Love and power must be together.
Mm-hmm. I remember in your classes something that stuck with me I'm still talking about it to this day.
Yes.
Where you have people talk about love and power in
yes.
the beginning of every training session.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
If you separate it,
mm-hmm.
as in a very famous one is the German Hitler groups. They used this one,
Mm-hmm.
and the symbol came from Greek,
Mm-hmm.
and it means unity, power.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hitler used this for his group's symbol,
Yeah.
And it means unity and power. For him, it was not necessary for the love. Okay.
Yeah.
But you need the both.
Yes.
Okay. This is the force. Power without love, it sometimes become a violence and dictator.
Yeah.
Huh? And love, only talking about love, it's too weak.
Yes.
You know, if you want to buy something, love is not enough. You need also power or money.
Yes.
Combination.
Yes.
So love itself is not good enough. Power itself, it become a violence, no control. So must be both together.
Yes.
So this is a Buddha's idea, Buddhist idea, power and love. And this is also my teaching about the teaching of Buddha. You must have the both.
So how can you give an example of power and love put together in martial arts? How that works?
Yes. First you must be strong as a let's say it's self-defense. Okay, you must be strong, so you have to do training, and then you become quite skillful, strong, so you can help yourself. Okay? Secondly, you become much stronger, so you can help your family. And so you can defend your family. And you become much, much more strong, so you can protect some other people. So you can try to protect as many people as possible. So this became the necessary love to the others. But you need basically power to help others. You need the money to buy imagine I live in Denmark. I have enough food to eat. And some people in Africa starving, or some people in the Southeast Asia starving. I cannot bring my food there, even I have enough food. Only thing is I can have money, can send so they can buy, or I have the money so I can send food to over there.
Yeah.
So actually you need a kind of how to transport. Today to transport food or water to the people who are thirsty or hungry, you need the money. Money is a kind of power. So I have my passion and my feeling, compassion enough. Oh, I have plenty water, raining too much here, and I want to bring the water to the dry place. That's it. I have enough passion and sympathy for them. But without money, how can I bring water to the dry place?
Yeah.
You need the money. You need a superpower, politicians or whatever. You need the power to do it. So with the power like equal to money, for example. And so you can bring the things you can help people to the other side. So in the martial arts, power is you become strong, so you can help yourself, protect yourself. Then the next ring is you can protect your family. And then your family and friends. Then it's bigger, even the neighbors, unknown peoples. So the ring become bigger when your capability become bigger.
But
So
you're always at service. It's always from a selfless place of compassion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Compassion. So compassion to Buddhism's idea is we are born equal. Nothing is better. Nobody is better than others. Like this, we are born equal under the Buddha. Or people say, human right. We are equal. But people have a different qualification. So this is the idea of the different qualification. It's not equal. Some people can run very fast. Some people cannot. Some people can jump up very high. Other people not. People are not equal. Under the Buddha and under the God, people are equal. Okay, but people have a different qualification.
Yes.
Yeah, this is many people now mixed up with we are equal. I can do anything. They say no, equal, but you have this guy can do 10 times more than you can do it.
Yeah.
So it's a different ability which we have to respect.
Right now they're trying to make both men and women totally equal as well. In
Yes. What kind of equality? The human right equal, it's okay.
yeah, yeah,
And
but still, they're trying to say now that if a man identifies himself as a woman, he can compete in women's athletics.
yeah, but only a few times, and sometimes you have to put many things to help to make it equal. No?
Mm-hmm.
Man and woman's body structure, muscle structure is different.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why man can do many things. But in the if I'm talking about in the Buddha world, with the pain, woman can take more. So
Yes.
actually, woman is much, much stronger because their muscle power, physical bone power is smaller than man's. But their mental power and with the energy, ki power is much, much stronger. So if you put the man and woman in the same situation, the first man dies, woman lives.
Yeah.
So it means woman is strong.
Yes. Yes.
So just joking, you don't need to help woman because they are strong. Just joking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we're talking about the key power and survival, woman lives longer.
Mm-hmm.
So woman is strong.
Mm-hmm.
And about the energy, key energy power, the woman can use a lot of key energy. They are not thinking, but they can do it. Like, the 13, 14 years gymnastic girls, okay? They can do with supporting with one hand, totally their body. Of course, they are very, very thin, very small, but they can support.
They can do
In
it.
the same kind of energy, we need a lot, boys, we need a lot of muscle to support our body.
Yeah.
Because when we are depending on the muscle power, woman will not get muscles.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't, depending on the muscle power, they have another kind of power using, which they are using key powers.
I remember when we were training together, you said to me, Joshua, one of your problems is that you're so strong that my muscles were big. And because of that, I was relying more on physical strength than I did on the energy, the key power. And because of that, it was more difficult to learn to do these things the right way. And I remember that very clearly. It was very powerful for me to hear this.
Yeah. And then this is very natural because, actually when the humans, when we are young, taller people are advantage, stronger people, bigger muscle people have the advantage. No?
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning. Then they become a certain level age. It's not so important.
Yeah.
and sometimes it goes upside down when you age it. So it becomes, but when we are young, we are depending on our body development. So we want to have a bigger muscle, bigger body, bigger. Then when you get the bigger body and bigger muscles, which is bigger than the other people's, you don't need to think because you are superior.
Yeah.
Then another people like me, I was a little bit, I was average Japanese, but many people started bigger, and I came to the country of giant people, Scandinavia, and everybody 20, 30 meters bigger, taller than me, and almost my double-sized people.
Yeah.
And I said, I cannot be suddenly tall. I cannot be a big to the side. So
Yeah.
I have to find out how to use my force.
Yeah.
And I had also this weekend, I had a seminar for instructor seminar, and all my student instructors came from all parts of the Europe. And said, everybody just push me back.
Yeah.
I can push everybody back. Okay, some people is my double size.
Yeah.
So I think, wow, I have a theory, I have a technique, I can just push the people, not throwing away, but just pushing each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this is only here plus technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this very much. You've been throwing me around like crazy for many years, and I'm always talking about this to my students, that size and strength has nothing to do with anything. It's all up here, and the understanding of the floor.
All here because we are humans, okay? And we are intelligent animals. So there is a so-called break. You know, the limitation. From here, said, no, you cannot do it. It is not impossible. This is impossible. Come over. 2 meter high? No, it is not possible. Okay? So this is idea, and this is too heavy, not possible to everybody thinking like this. And I'm trying also sometimes hand barbell and putting the heavy weight, bring up, and it is heavy and not possible.
Yeah.
So, and many of my students, which is much, much bigger, of course, everybody is bigger than me, they are trying, and they come to the limit, not possible from here to lift up this. So I come, and just what's the problem? I said, what are you doing? It is not possible.
Yeah.
I don't think it is not possible. I think it is possible. So my limit is here.
Yeah.
So I can come up, and physically I can lift up the much, much bigger people, like your size people coming, and I cannot do anymore. Just it's not possible. I can just do it.
Yeah. And do you still find, even though you're getting older now, that your strength is still the same, or is it better, stronger, or?
The two things, I think, power is still the same. I'm becoming stronger.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's problem. This is not the problem. I become stronger.
Yeah.
But my bones, my joint, if I just continue, start to give the pain next day or at the same time.
Yeah.
Because all the joint and muscles, there is coming a limitation. I can come over the limitation with my mental power like this. But anyway, it comes to my knees and like this. So the short time I can do very, not the longer time. Physically you can running and lifting up. When you are young, you can do many times. You can become very quickly fresh, which it takes time to recover. So I can fight and I can do the almost same exercise. It's not the problem, but the problem is the day after.
The day after. Yeah. I'm having the same experience right now, so I totally can see that. So I would like to ask you.
Yes. Next question.
Yeah. So a lot of people are talking about mixed martial arts, and that it's the best and etc. And so many people are asking me, do you think mixed martial arts is better than karate or than North Shaolin Kung Fu or etc. etc. And my answer usually is that in a very short time you can learn to defend yourself on the street with mixed martial arts. But over time, I would say that you are benefiting much more from the traditional styles as you grow older, both for the energetic aspects, but also that you're learning more of the Bushido style, the art of really like killing instead of with rules, etc. So what's your thoughts on all this with the mixed martial arts?
Very basic things in today's mixed martial art, because 90%, I cannot say 100%, 90% of the young fighters doing mixed martial art, they have no background of Buddha.
Yeah.
So they have no kihon for the basic problem, body movement, like this. So when they start to fight, they only collecting in the how to fight in the mixed martial art in the sport rule.
Yeah.
Okay. And mixed martial art it's just a sport. How to fight in this area. Limited time limit, technical limitation, space limitation. Okay. So they don't have no basic how to move, how to kick, like this. So as you know, you have been training karate many years.
Yeah.
Okay. It takes about 10 years to kick properly.
Yeah.
Okay. And today you can kick also because it don't want to go away. And you know the mixed martial artist, the fighting rule, which you can not to kick, you can punch. Okay. 99% they are not using a kick. They cannot kick.
Yeah, they cannot kick.
Because kicking is very difficult to control. They just pushing and want to take down.
Yeah.
Okay. Because kicking, as you know, it takes 10 years to master kicking.
Yeah.
They have only 3 months. They have only 6 months.
Yeah.
Forget about kicking. But use the hand to punch that everybody can do in a basic way.
Yeah.
So that's why kick is almost hopeless. Because that's why, but the people who have been training like Kyokushinkai people in mixed martial arts, they are coming, they are keeping quite a long time champion.
Yeah.
Because they know how to kick, they know how to punch. So it means mixed martial art is good if you have the basic background.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. The last weeks I had 40 instructors from Jiu-Jitsu, karate, and police people. Many kind of groups instructor came. What I teach first 2 hours, just to walk, how to move.
Yes.
Yes. And many people say, it is very difficult. Yes, because you don't have any basic technique.
Yeah.
If I can teach you 100 different takedown technique, throwing technique, but if you don't know how to move, then you just forget everything after you leave here. But I teach you how to walk, then you can walk every day in a way. Baby, from the like a human baby about 1 year.
Yeah, to
baby in 1 year start to stand up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the 3-4 years, start to move and run. And then the age about 5, 6, 7, you start going to school. You can jump with one leg, just okay. But 4 or 5 years, people cannot jump and walk with only one leg. So then you can changing to jump, changing leg, and doing with the leg many things. So it takes about 7 to 8 years. Human can move properly. Okay. So if the baby takes 7 years to do the properly jumping, then from there, in a proper way to move in the Buddha, it takes another 7, 8 years. Okay. So this is the basic technique. When you master this technique, you can do any kind of martial art.
Yeah, that's my experience also. Yeah.
Right there. Because mixed martial arts people who have never learned basic, and then especially karate and kung fu, like this is, we had a basic movement.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the jiu-jitsu people, Brazilian jiu-jitsu people, for example, they don't walk even. Okay.
No, I mean,
they are only sitting and doing.
every time I'm watching the mixed martial arts fights, I can see they don't use the hips. They don't have the kime in the way that we train in karate, and the kicks are very messy. It's very messy kicks. It looks like it doesn't look very
Yeah,
good.
just only the pushing the people away.
Mm-hmm.
If you kick like this, then they go back and they come again. No kime, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
If you kick properly, people will fall down.
Yeah.
But if you kick, just push, they go back and come back again.
Yes.
So it's a no impact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And
changing direction, I wanted to make sure that we touch in on in this interview on with the history of martial arts, because so we have the Shaolin Temple.
yes.
By the way, I have seen there's martial arts styles in India that's even older than that, and
Yes.
also I've heard about there's martial arts stances depicted in ancient Egypt where they are doing the hieroglyphs, and so there's specific stances they're doing, and a lot of people are speculating that it's martial arts stances. So I'm wondering, what first of all, I would love to hear, where do you think it originated? Long time, like the oldest origin of martial arts in itself.
Because the martial art and the war, and it has been all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's ancient human, even the Homo sapiens beginning or Neanderthal or whatever, they are also fighting with animal or human and human. They are killing each other. So they was always fighting. And then in India, they have developed already existing the fighting systems, in actual military fighting systems, because the weapon was very primitive weapons. When you are using primitive weapons, you need more skill in the body.
Yeah.
Okay. More advanced weapon, you need less skill.
Yeah.
Finally, atom like this, you just push the button, so you don't need the skill.
Yeah.
So more primitive, you need a body, and even you lose your weapon, you can use your body. So you need a lot of basic martial art, which you have to use. Main part is not a weapon, but your body. And you have to weaponize your body, like karate. So not depending on the different kind of the weapons or hard things, but just using your body as a basic instrument of weapon. So just saying you need a skill. And then you can find in India one of the oldest things. Even you go to the Greenland, they have like a sumo. Iceland, they have also Iceland wrestling.
They have sumo in Greenland? Sumo?
Yes.
Wow, yes. Interesting.
And Iceland, they have more developed fighting system, almost like a sumo.
Yeah, yeah.
And Mongolia, you have it, and Iran, you have it, and so I think many places all the world.
Yeah. Interesting. So basically, martial arts is old. It's been around since we started butchering each other, and so it goes way back in time. So,
several thousand years we've been killing each other.
Yeah,
but the idea is it's like a Shaolin temple. It's AD 220, so it means about 1,500 years ago.
Yeah,
it came from India to China.
So who was Bodhidharma? Who is that guy?
Bodhidharma, before Bodhidharma, there was already 2,000 years ago about Buddhist transmission from India to China.
Yeah.
So China was already a lot of influence in Buddhism.
Yeah.
And already Japan Buddhism came also same time and developed the Chinese Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually the 1,000 years after Shakyamuni Buddha in India, Bodhidharma came from India to China to teach what was the original Buddhism, because China, they have called the Mahayana, the great Buddhism. It's another kind of Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism has been developed in a way. So Buddhism has the southern style and the northern style. Or we call it a Mahayana. Maha, it means a big.
Oh, so that when you say northern style and southern style, you're talking about a religious offspring as well. So it's not just the martial arts movements we're talking about. It's also it's a whole philosophy.
Yeah, philosophy.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't know.
Southern style called the Higayana, called the Little Buddhism. It's also southern style. It means from India to Sri Lanka. It is also south, né? And mainly the biggest is Thailand. It's also a tropic country. And Laos, Cambodia, this area, tropical place. But mainly in the Thailand and Sri Lanka today.
And that's southern style. That's south style.
Southern style. Northern style is India, Japan, and China. From India, Tibet is also northern style. So Tibet, one of the great big area, Tibetan Buddhism, Lamaism called, and the Chinese Buddhism, and the Japanese Buddhism, Korean Buddhism, even the Vietnam Buddhism. Vietnam is also came from the northern style. Then from Vietnam to the neighborland, to the Cambodia, to the Thailand, it's a southern style.
Okay, this is interesting. So So basically, this is more about philosophy than actual specific movements, like at least in the beginning. And so in the Shaolin Temple, you had two different forms of Buddhism, and both of them were doing martial arts, and that martial arts got expressed in a different way because of the philosophies. Is that how to interpret it?
We called it the Nan-Zen, South Zen, and Hoku Zen, North Zen. Zen Buddhism group has been divided into two groups. Like a Kung Fu divided into two different South style and North style. Zen Buddhism, even Bodhidharma brought Zen Buddhism to China. And then the Zen Buddhism was transmitted to Japan, and it became a fixed religion, developed, not in China, but in Japan.
Yeah.
Then from Japan, all the world.
So Bodhidharma brought the South style, or?
At that time, difficult to say South style, or it's I think his student, two, three, I cannot remember the history exactly, but divided in the two schools after Bodhidharma.
So from him, two South and North came out of that.
Yes.
Okay.
And very simply, it's it is almost like the main Christianity and divided to the Orthodox and the Catholic and the Protestant. The three major groups. Then between there are the many groups, but the biggest is the Orthodox. It's a Greek to the Russia. And like Romania, Russia, and Greek, like this is called the Orthodox style. Then the Protestant or the North Europe, Scandinavia mainly. Then the biggest is the Catholic in Italy, some center. So this there the between there's many. But anyway, the big three style. The same thing in Buddhism. There's many. Then the Bodhidharma came to 1,500 years ago to China, and they saw many kind of Buddhism in China, and he wanted to teach the more simple way. But local Chinese emperor Lian, he could not agree with the Bodhidharma's idea. So Bodhidharma had been kicked out from the palace. But Bodhidharma is not, it's a symbolic person. So he has his group. He's not traveling alone. He had his followers, bodyguard, and to pass. So the groups went to Shaolin Temple, and this is a very good temple. There was a temple already, and then he started his new way of teaching, and the follower became more and more. So it became a Zen Buddhism. So we say that Bodhidharma is the founder of the Zen Buddhism, which it became a Zen Buddhism in Japan, but it was in China. It started.
Okay, and is he spoken about as the man who was what we will call a kung fu master, and he knew the martial arts? No.
There is two major things which does not, they give the conflict.
Okay. Yes.
Let's talk about the religion.
Yeah.
First. Bodhidharma came to China, and they found out that the Chinese people have quite a different way of doing the Buddhism.
Yeah.
So he wanted to put his idea of his style of Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
Then most of the Chinese did not accept, so he stayed in a mountain temple called the Shaolin Monastery. And there he started to teach. Teaching is a meditation, not Kung Fu, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Meditation. So finally, his leg started very bad, okay?
Yeah.
And finally, his leg is almost disappeared.
Yeah.
Because too much meditation.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't use his arm, just carrying like this. So arm function is gone, leg function is gone. So that is the symbol of the Bodhidharma figure you find in the Japan, just like this.
Yeah, it's just this round figure with no arms and legs.
Yes, no arms like this. And he can fall down 7 times, but anyway, he rises up. So it means he never gives up.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was meditation, like Shakyamuni Buddha did it, and gets enlightened. So this is Bodhidharma taught only meditation. Only meditation is enough. Okay.
So why are we saying Bodhidharma brought martial arts to?
Yes, that's a religious part.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
meditation.
Okay. Yes.
Then the southern people said, you don't need to do any exercise, just meditate. And the northern side says, no, you have to do certain exercise to keep your body healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Then from Bodhidharma's idea came to Japan. Japan was 800 years ago, actually almost 700 years after Bodhidharma. This kind of called Zen Buddhism came to Japan. Okay, so Zen Buddhism became flourished, opened 800 years ago. So it's a new religion, not the old one.
It's very new.
Very new one. Then they accepted by the samurai people. Okay, samurai people said, we have exercise already. You know, we are professional military people. We don't need a kung fu or anything. Already we are samurai, totally highly developed people.
Yeah.
Only we need is a mental and fit meditation. Okay, so in Japan, the Zen Buddhism became a warriors Buddhism. Because the samurai people they are military people. They follow the orders and they don't know tomorrow, maybe already dead.
Yes.
So I need the peace today, now.
Yes.
Okay. So meditation and live. And Zen Buddhism said, you are nothing. You came from empty and you are today is a material, but you go back to empty, nothing. So you are actually nothing. Nothing is something, but you are almost like a zero.
Yeah.
So to die today or to live today, it is not important.
Yeah.
So all the military people, they are, oh, this is the answer I wanted.
Yes.
So I can fight.
Yeah. So there's no problem.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I don't have any future, but for me, it's now, if I'm totally relaxed and just to fight, most of the time I win. I survived again.
Mm-hmm.
No? If you are afraid, you die because you become stiff, right? So mushin, empty mind.
Yeah.
That is the Zen. So in Japan, the Zen Buddhism was very, very popular for the warriors. And so they practice only Southern style, only meditation and the philosophy. We don't need the fighting systems. Okay. We don't need the Shaolin Kung Fu in Japan at that time, 800 ago.
Mm-hmm.
We need only the philosophy, the technique to meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the idea. So actually, the Zen Buddhism and Shaolin Kung Fu is conflict because the Shaolin Kung Fu legend said Bodhidharma came to Shaolin Temple. And so the monks are physically very bad condition. So he started I Ching Ching, called the exercise.
Yeah.
Gymnastic.
Yeah.
He taught the gymnastic, and then later it has been developed to the fighting system. This is the Shaolin Kung Fu people believes.
Yes.
And this is, totally opposite. Ne?
Yeah.
Bodhidharma taught us to meditate, and his leg become bad, arm become bad, because he concentrated his mind. So, and another Bodhidharma taught us the Shaolin monks are so weak, so he had to teach the gymnastic. And finally, it became a Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
So I am both sides. So I said, Bodhidharma had a group of Indian bodyguard and monks. Okay, they are warriors. They are protecting the Bodhidharma with the prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, protecting him. So Bodhidharma was meditating, all the bodyguards are start and teaching Chinese monks how to fight. So it is all the, neo like this is a God or Buddha's bodyguard. Ne?
Mm-hmm.
A kind of the neo-son called neo. So all the style and everything you can find from India. So it came from India. And even in the Shaolin Temple's wall painting, if you see the color picture, then the black-faced monk and white-faced monk is fighting, training. Black-faced is from India.
Yeah.
Black people. Okay. And the white one is a Chinese. Chinese and Indian training in Shaolin Temple.
Interesting. So basically, Bodhidharma himself didn't do any martial arts, but his bodyguards did, and they were the ones influencing the northern.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is number 2 theory, about the Kung Fu theory. And number 1 is the Bodhidharma is only teaching. The third one, archaeology. We cannot find the Bodhidharma.
Oh.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Only 1,000 years, 1,500 years ago, temple exists. Okay. Even 2,500 years ago, 1,000 years before Bodhidharma, we have the remaining of the Shakyamuni Buddha divided several bones ash to the different temples. All the evidence that the Shakyamuni Buddha existed, he was born, we know exactly the date, his birthday, everything. 1,000 years later, in China, quite advanced already system, registration, everything. we cannot find the Bodhidharma. How he died. Hmm? And the legend said he came from India. So we went back to India to research. We cannot find. There was not such a prince.
So there's no stories in India about a man
Nothing.
called Bodhidharma?
Then we found it standing that he had a very big eyes and gray eyes and white skin. Then at that time, one prince in Iran went to China and disappeared. It's the same story. And Iran was a Buddhist country. No, at that time there was no Muslim, no religion than Muslim.
So Bodhidharma could maybe have been coming
He
from
was Iranian.
Iranian.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
Because Iran was a Buddhist country.
Yeah, yeah.
Iranian prince studied Buddhism and went to China to teach.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is the third, it is archaeological and historic. Bodhidharma may be just a fiction, or he is an Iranian prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you know that, I'm sure you know, but for the listeners, Iran is, the word Aryan comes from the word Iran as well. And the Aryan race was actually, there was a lot of Aryan people living in Iran back then, a long time ago. White people. So basically, so basically, Bodhidharma, if he was Iranian that long time ago, most likely he was a white guy, I would say.
Yeah. Very, very possible, no?
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. I never heard this before, ever. Nobody.
Because, you know, when I read the Buddhist history like this, those people who write the Zen Buddhism history, they don't know anything about Shaolin Kung Fu.
Yeah.
So, write nothing about the Kung Fu, but whether it existed or how he taught, how he traveled.
Yeah.
Like this. And some people writing that Bodhidharma from India, he traveled from Bombay to the Malaysia, to Singapore, then I went from Singapore, went to Vietnam to China by ship. That is a very good idea. At that time, all other transmission by the Silk Way.
Yeah.
So, how can he travel by the ship for in that way? That is also one of the mystery. No?
Yeah.
At that time, the route was all by the very dangerous by traveling by ship.
So basically, if you go back in the beginning of the Shaolin Kung Fu, already back then, from beginning, it was already divided up in the North and South style. Was it also like religiously? Yes, but would it physically, the way they practice it, would that also show a difference, or what?
Yes. Originally, it was we call the low northern style, like India. It's a big movement.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was already Kung Fu, 3 big styles in China. Tai Chi.
Already before Bodhidharma, there was already Kung Fu in China. Tai Chi
Kung Fu. Xing Yi Kung Fu, Pakua.
Wow.
It was a circle, you know.
Yeah.
8 movement, Pakua movement. It's moving with a circle, with writing the 8.
Yes.
Like this was already in China.
Interesting.
Then the Xing Yi is an animal movement. today the Shaolin dragon, Shaolin tiger, like this, but it was already in China.
So praying mantis, tiger claw, all that stuff, it was
All called
already.
the Shingi. It's a copy of animal called.
So they already
Animal
had that.
movement fighting.
What about white crane kung fu?
Although those are the mixed up later with the Shaolin. Then the later called the Shaolin five animals.
Mm.
And like this, it comes. Okay? But first copy of the animal with the Xingyi Kung Fu, and then the Pakua moving in the circle, and the Tai Chi slowly fighting. The three major were the Chinese.
Yeah.
Then the new one, new style came and called the Gai Cha. Gai, it means out. Outside family. Outside family, it means foreign, alien Kung Fu.
Uh-huh.
It came from outside, no
Yeah.
Chinese.
Yeah.
And this is called, it is not the Chinese fighting system, but it came from outside. This is called the Shaolin. So Shaolin Kung Fu is the foreign Kung Fu. So
Outside
where
of-
it come from? From outside of China.
Ah.
So it's a Chinese, Indian Kung Fu developed in Shaolin Temple.
From outside. Okay.
Yeah. And inside is the Pakua, Xingyi, Tai Chi, three, well, already. Then later, because of the popularity and nobody have ever seen, because only training in the monastery. So Shaolin temples become very famous. Okay? In the legend, but nobody ever seen. Then about 1,000 years ago, there was in China, in Chinese or that area, there was many countries inside China. China is not the one country. China is just a district.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Many groups, many countries. And one of the famous one is the local king called Li Shimin. He was a king of the one country in the part of the.
Yeah.
He started to lose his battle. Country was attacked by the another countries.
Yeah.
And he escaped to Shaolin Temple.
Yeah.
And the Shaolin Temple protected him. Okay? And then later, he leaves Shaolin Temple and again get the power, and he became the one of the emperor in China. And so he said, I was the one country's local king. Then he controlled later the big part of the China, and he became the emperor of China.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the letter, it's written in the stone, thank you, Shaolin peoples, Shaolin monks. Without you, Shaolin people, I was dead guy, but I was protected by you. Then I became an emperor of China. So this is a fact that already 1,000 years ago, Shaolin Temple was very strong organization. And then the emperor talked about the Shaolin Temple. So everybody want to go there, okay?
Now it became famous, yeah.
Famous. Then the Shaolin, but it was forbidden to leave the temple. You have to be the really good master to teach Shaolin Kung Fu. So but some of the monks run away and start to teach. Okay, this is not a real story. Could be. It is just a Kung Fu story.
Yeah.
So for example, Wing Chun. That she is a woman known in Shaolin Monastery. She was very good in the so very small movement, but she knew how to fight.
Yes.
And she was sent to find the Shaolin exile. Somebody near the Hong Kong, okay? Near the Hong Kong, the former Shaolin monks are teaching Kung Fu. So many Shaolin monks being active go there and catch them and bring back to Shaolin temple. Okay, so that was the command. So many Shaolin fighting monks went to different countries, all to control who is teaching Kung Fu.
Yeah, yeah.
Shaolin Kung Fu. Yeah. Then those people went to different parts, but they take a year traveling to a different place. On the way, they died or they found out something. They don't come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very famous story about if Wing Chun, she didn't come home. She became a Kung Fu Shaolin Wing Chun founder near the Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this. So it actually the many stories about who is our system's founder. They say, we are the Shaolin monk who came from a temple and stayed here and taught us how to fight.
Mm.
Instead of finding the who is the Shaolin exile, but actually the Shaolin monks itself, they start to go out from China and start to teach. Maybe they get the good money or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the Chinese people who
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah, yeah.
So in this way, little by little, went outside.
And so different. So when these styles are being taught outside, we had both the northern style and the southern style being taught.
Yes,
Yeah.
and today there are many schools about the 12 southern style and 6 northern style. We can say like this. The northern style is a big movement, jump, kick, punch. You know, like I do. It's a northern style, and the southern style is like a karate south, short, and don't kick, standing in a very called like a sanchin and a mabu. It's a small leg, like a basic karate skill. Okay, so this is called the southern style. So why it became originally they say the northern style, the big movement fighting from Indian Kung Fu became more and more Chinese. And why the southern part of the China, it became a very small movement. So then we have analyzed. One, it was quite many Chinese countries, the farmers, they are not allowed to do training martial art because military controls. And then how to fight is they are training because on the ship, boat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because the South China is a wet place, wet and many channels, waters, like this. So many people are actually training and living in the ship, boat. So you need to keep the balance. You need a small leg. You cannot jump up and kick and like this. So it became a very, very small movement. So So this is one of the theories. How the South Kung Fu becomes short and the North Kung Fu become dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, Southern styles, it will go very short, so you get the very easy way to get the power, like a karate. Huh?
Yeah.
So it's a development 3-4 years. I can build a very good fighting group in the military.
Yeah.
Okay. So the basic movement is Basic movement is very simple. You don't need so much movement, but developing the arm and a very short kick. So in this way, I can make the soldier to fight within 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the external power. External power is not the key energy, but just physical power. So that was very good for the military people because military soldiers is very short life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they just want to learn to be efficient as quick as possible.
Yes. So that's why the Southern style became very popular. So in China, the major group, the Northern style people, it's moving like it's so difficult how to develop the power from inside.
Mm-hmm.
10 years minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody wants to learn the Northern style. This is fantastic. It's like a dream, but forget about it. We have no time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Northern style became like a legend, like a dream. And the Southern style became very popular. This is a very, very simple way to understand that you did the Southern style in a karate. Yeah. And Okinawa is also the South.
Yeah.
Which White Crane Kung Fu is also from South China. And very understand.
What about the Shorinji Kempo?
It's very thing. The founder was my sensei.
Yeah.
So actually, I often first Shorinji Kempo. He was born in Japan near the temple which we have been, Daishoji Temple, my temples. Very close, only 1 kilometer away from temple.
Okay.
But he was a very poor family and mother died and even the sister because he died with hunger, no food, nothing. So he traveled to Manchu, North China, today's China, to his mother's grandfather, his grandfather, mother's uncle, something like this, was in living in Manchuria. So he went to Manchuria, North China, to live and grown up there. And his grandfather was also instructor of the Hakkoryu Aikijutsu sensei. So he was little training with him. As he said, but he didn't say anything. But I could see that all his technique is Aikijutsu technique for hand. So he had definitely Hakkoryu Jujutsu. Hakkoryu is from the Daitoryu. So the link, it's Aikijujutsu techniques. A lot of things we learned from his grandfather in China. Then he became, I think he was about 18 or 19. And then they come back to Japan and applied the military. He wanted to be a soldier. He applied for the military. then the checked, and he has a problem with the heart. Heart, how the
Arrhythmia.
yeah, heart problem. So military said, sorry, you cannot become a soldier. Out. So desperately, he went back to China again. He couldn't get the job and joined with a special group, the Secret Service.
Oh.
Okay. So he became the Japanese. Actually, he didn't do any military training, but he became the Secret Service of the Japanese military. And he was grown up in Manchuria, between the Chinese and Japanese community, whatever. Then he became, as a military secret service, he had to travel for all the part of China to gather information. But he was a Japanese origin. Chinese people, they can hear his accent of like this. Because even if he speaks Chinese, that the Japanese, he was born in Japan. Origin. So he traveled with one Chinese old man, Chinese monk. And he became a monk and to travel. So monk, you don't need to speak so much.
Yeah.
Okay? He's a leader, he's a monk. So he follow assistant monks and travel in China. And then he learned how to fight because he was, this old man was one of the skillful Shaolin Kung Fu master. So in this way he learned and he traveled many places. He was interested in starting from the Japanese Aikijutsu. Then later, so he learned many things. He was more, and he wrote it down and traveled many places. And then he gathered how to do it.
And that was, so he practiced mainly the northern styles, the northern.
Yeah. And then finally he came to Peking, Beijing. And Beijing, he met the northern styles master. Okay. Then he had a train while he was working for the Japanese military, the secret service, but he was training, and he became very talented. He was very talented, super master. And he learned the northern styles perfect, called the Ifa men, Ifa's Giwa schools. And this Shaolin master said, actually, I am from the Shaolin temples, but I am already, my time is finished. So you are original Japanese, but can you take over my system? Huh? So then he was very happy that his master said, let's go. And so said, let's go to Shaolin Temple. We travel to the Shaolin. It's World War II times, war times.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to Shaolin Temple to meet. So they traveled to the Shaolin Temple and he had the ceremony and he became the Soke leader of the Peking's northern style Kung Fu schools. Okay, so then we come back to what he said, that the Shaolin Temple were already almost like a ruin, and only few monks are taking care of the temple. And wartime monastery was totally destroyed. and only few people were training, and they had a machine gun and protecting the temple like this.
The monks.
So yeah, that was the Shaolin temples World War II times, war period.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he said, "We don't need care so much, but anyway, thank you for the certificate," and like this. So he came back to Peking. Okay, so when they developing his style, unfortunately, Japan lost. So many people, Japanese people, must go back to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had to escape from China for the route to how to bring the evacuate people from China and Manchuria, North China, how to evacuate people. And he was chosen to the captain, to evacuation captain. So he had to bring the many people to organize and how to safely bring back to Japan. And then anyway, he came back to Japan and came back to Osaka in after what time's chaos. And then it is not a place to live. So he moved to Shikoku Island where I was. But I was a little kid, right? Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's then we knew that the Shaolin at that time Shaolin Kung Fu people were training called Shorinji Kempo. It means Shaolin Temple Kung Fu. So we knew it. All Japanese people know the Shorinji Kempo, but nobody ever seen. Then my sensei Doshin So said, "I am the last survivor of Shaolin Kung Fu in China." This was not the truth. Okay? But he was one of the survivors.
Okay.
Yeah. He was not the only survivor because Shaolin Temple exists. But at that time, he thought, he didn't lie, he thought he was the only one survivor.
Yeah.
Okay? That is what he thought. But in China, it exists many, so nobody, you cannot kill everybody. Knowledge continues.
Yeah.
Even no monk, the knowledge is transmitted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just okay. And then little by little in Japan, he put the many Japanese ways. So he organized Nippon Shorinji Kempo, Japanese Shaolin Kung Fu. Okay?
That is hilarious. Now things are really getting mixed up.
Yeah, because he had to adapt to he had to put the many Chinese Kung Fu out and Japanese Jujutsu and many things in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But only thing with the northern style, this is the basic, which never been in Japan. So definitely it's a northern style of punching and kicking system.
Yeah. Karate, just for the listeners, in karate we punch and we hit with the two knuckles here like this.
And we hit like this three.
Yeah.
So you cannot change it. You have to choose one way or other way.
Yeah.
Because you do a million times, 10 years. You cannot just today like this, tomorrow like this. Not possible.
Mm-hmm.
One has to be so, one has to be so.
Mm-hmm.
Like this. You cannot change. You have to choose one.
Yeah, you have to choose.
Yeah, you cannot mix because two different things.
Yeah.
If you mix, you become nothing.
Yes.
So one of the things, Taekwondo originated from the Tansodo, most of the things. And Tansodo, it means Chinese Kung Fu.
Yeah.
And Tanzania came from the Shaolin Temple. So it means the northern style. So kicking is the north, and upper body is Japanese karate, especially for the Shotokan, same kata. So they wanted to be different from Japan, so they continue the north style of the leg and the south style of Japanese. And they said this is the original. So it became a kind of the bastard.
Mm.
It's a two element is fighting each other inside.
Yeah. You can
So
totally
in this,
you can see Taekwondo people doesn't know how to punch. And
yeah, because you cannot develop the with a north style and suddenly you are kicking with the whole your body circle kicking,
yeah.
and you have to use your energy to take the balance, more balance, so you cannot develop the punching. Because when we do karate, we don't just move the whole the body, but the twisting stop. So in this way, the good balance comes. Boom. But they are using the kicking with the arm like this. No? To do the mawashigiri, you have to kick your hand to the back. Otherwise, they lose balance.
Yeah.
So you cannot keep in the fighting position.
Yeah.
So in this way, the punching system is almost disappeared.
Yeah.
That's a pity, but because they want more and more kicking from north side, but they want to keep the gist without they learn like they cannot change, so they have to continue. So Taekwondo become almost like this.
Yeah.
Because after my idea, it's a mistake.
I definitely feel so. I mean, I've been fighting with many Taekwondo people, and it's a very you can just see that there is a conflict. You can, as you said, you can see that they cannot the kicks. Yeah, okay, the kicks are really good, and they're very good at it. But as soon as you get around the kicks and you get closer to them or anything, they don't know what to do. They have no idea.
Yeah, they cannot build because the fundament is a two conflict between the because it's a file system failure. In the system is conflict within the system. Because you pick up like a mixed martial art. One you have to run, one you have to go, and put it together. You cannot do.
No. And I just want to point out one thing about mixed martial arts that most people don't think about is if you talk about street fighting and Bushido, like the art of war, etc. How many times do you see people fighting in a cage with tooth protection, groin protection, rules and regulations that you're not allowed to do this, and gloves on, and a judge, time constraint. Plus, why would you take a guy on the floor if he has a friend who wants to kill you as well? And so, if there's more than one opponent fighting with you, it's a bad idea to do shoot him down on the ground, etc. And so there's so many problems with the modern martial arts that most people don't think about, because if we go back and look at martial arts, it's the art of war, like to go, it's life and death, right?
You see that actually as you say, we have to stick on the martial art, not the martial sport.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you go to the martial sport, you lose, because we use, in the sport world, we use what is the good for, just for, to get the point.
Yeah, to win.
To win. With the judge and protection and everything.
Exactly.
And maybe we can use the 10% of the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu people said, it came from judo, but we have no time to practice judo. Then we have no more chance to the Japanese people. They are professional. So let's only take, if the fighting in starting on the Nevada on the floor, then we became a specialist for the floor. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So in this way, they start to training only floor training.
Yeah.
Okay? But only the 10% of the judo. Only here. And you became the champion with the here.
Yeah.
But you don't know, we have more, 90% more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a martial sport and sound like a very good with a mixed martial art.
Yeah.
We mix everything, all the good.
Yeah. 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 It sounds very good.
Do you remember when you were in Denmark? There was one organization called Jujutsu.
Yeah. Jujutsu. Yeah.
Oh, Jujutsu, not Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. Jujutsu. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, they are mixed with the judo and the karate.
Yeah.
No? And they made their own organization. They have own competition system. And said, when we are a little bit different, we use the karate. And we become very close, we use judo.
Mm-hmm.
And karate and judo too both is a super good one.
Mm-hmm.
So mix, so extra good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they thought that this is the best fighting system. And something wrong. And then I had one of my students who today is a Wing Chun instructor. Came up many years ago to me.
Excuse me.
They have been the Danish champion for many years.
In Wing Chun?
No, sport jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Yeah. 15 years later, they came back. So, okay, I have been the prima donna and the best in the fighting, best, so many years. We found out we were nothing. We wasted totally our life. We want to study from the beginning.
Yeah.
And what can I do? She said, well, it's okay. The basic kung fu, and you did like karate, almost nothing. Judo, nothing. You are not the master of judo. No. You are not the master of karate. And just sports jiu-jitsu, you are the champion. But you are not master. Because I told you that this system is totally rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, like a taekwondo.
Yeah.
You cannot mix the one jiu-jitsu moving circle and the karate is straight. If you mix the two together for kid, they don't know how to move. You pick up the judo, when you become a judo, so 10 years, very good, then you can choose the karate, but you don't lose the judo. If you're a karate man, when you become a black belt, then you can study the judo.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't mix. But when the 10 years kid, today you go to karate school and tomorrow you have to go to a judo school. Yeah. You become nothing.
Yeah, I can tell you that's what I did. I trained judo. I started training judo when I was 9 years old. And I think around 16, I decided to shift over to Shotokan karate. But I stopped training judo and I started.
That is good because you know the ukemi and everything. You don't need to mix up. Mm-hmm. But today you go karate, tomorrow you go to jiu-jitsu, tomorrow you go to judo, like this. When you were a kid, for example, 10 years old, then you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But 10 years you have been in one place. Then take that is your body not just is not mixed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh? Mixed is the teaching in one time.
Yeah. But they say it's the same thing with so many other aspects of life. Like for example, I was getting very busy with the spiritual traditions of different Kriya yoga, breath work, and stuff like that.
Yes.
And the first thing we learned when I started doing this is like, do not go out and learn other systems. Don't learn this and that from different teachers, etc. Stay in one system, go very deep, become very good at it, and then you can open up and start exploring other ways of doing it. But not until then. And so I'm very happy I did that myself, because if I didn't stick to one style and became good at that, I know I would have been just like a jiu-jitsu fighter. I would have been half good at everything, meaning nothing at everything.
Yeah, half good for everything. It means nothing. You become nothing. Yeah. So you are good in one thing, then you can be good in some other thing.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's a foundation.
Yeah. And I remember when I first met you and you started showing the North Shaolin Kung Fu to me. Because of my background, and also because I understood I cannot try to do karate and North Shaolin Kung Fu at the same time. I have to forget everything and start trying to do it the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
But because of my background, it was easier for me to learn. It went much faster.
Yes. Then you don't mix, but you can. How can you use North Shaolin Kung Fu's not the punching way, because it's difficult from karate, too different. But how to use the hand technique, how to take down. This is, but because how can I use this technique in the karate? So it's adaptation.
Yeah, adaptation.
But because you don't mix.
No.
Yeah.
Either you punch like this or you punch like this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
and either you have straight body or you start moving.
Yes, yes.
It's
you have to very simple. No? So when you have the basic movement from one, you can put many other things.
Yeah.
But not from the beginning, two different things. That is what I'm talking about. So many people say like you must have a basic, any philosophic, physical, you must have the basic. Yeah. If you have the basic, oh, this is good for me, this is not good for me, you can select the technique.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the basic, everything's so good.
Yes. Yes.
You just make, everything's so nice. I have only 1 year, so I can take everything. And 1 year later, what do you learn? Nothing.
You go into a big candy store, you buy a little bit of everything, and you end up with a stomach ache.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And so, and also, I want to say, now when we talk about mixing things, one thing that I'm so grateful for in my life is that I've been training traditional styles the whole time. And because of that, the spiritual foundation is also being built, incorporated into the training. And so there's this innate education of respect for other people, discipline, being humble and polite, and just the way you carry yourself in life. I feel the traditional styles has taught me. I mean, I can only imagine who I would have been if I didn't have all that. It would not have been giving me that richness inside. So, so I would say this is one thing I'm missing in, for example, mixed martial arts or many of the full contact styles, is that genuine deep respect and honor and discipline that we have for each other in the traditional styles, which is going back to the religions. And so now in this interview, we have totally seen how the religious, the spiritual, the enlightenment, the internal arts is so closely related to the external arts, to the martial arts, to the fighting styles, and how this has been a parallel path and growth in the history of humanity. And I really truly hope that the future will continue to be like this, and we don't completely lose ourselves into sports, martial sports, and gold medals and all that stuff only. But we adopt and bring in the deep spiritual, profound teachings that I feel martial arts is just like yoga. It can take you all the way to nirvana, to enlightenment.
Yes.
It's deep spiritual.
Next session or next meeting program, I said, you know, when the sport fighting or whatever in the martial art, then the almost the same level of people they fight. Okay, then one will live and one will die all the time. So it means or win or lose. Yeah. But real martial art, in one will die and one live, or live or win. And technically, it's almost the same kind of level people fighting. Okay, if the totally not trained one and expert, it's out of question. It's no fighting.
Yeah.
But the real fighting is both have the skill. So the winner is always mentally strong one wins.
Yes.
So then there comes the spiritual way of teaching how to live. No? So then the religious people survived, mentally strong people survived, and you in the fighting you have to relax so you can use the skillful. You know, if you are afraid, you die.
Yeah.
If you are thinking to win, your muscle becomes stiff, you die.
Yeah.
If you are thinking nothing, or actually not care so much, just to fight. And the end, maybe you live again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember one of the first things you told me when I met you is you looked in my eyes and you said, "I am not afraid of dying. If I die now, I die a happy man."
Yes.
And I have had my near-death experiences myself already as a child. So my relationship to death is very different. I'm not afraid of dying because I know there's no death. But it was very rare that I meet anybody who could sincerely tell me that they feel no fear of death. And so if you have no fear of death and you have come to that realization through martial arts, this will have an influence on the rest of your life, everything else in life, how that will express itself. So it's a deep spiritual, profound metamorphosis that we go through with this.
Yes. So next session, we'll go into the how the mental power with the key.
Yes. Okay. Can you lift up higher? More high? Up. Yeah. Yes.
And then have to use. We are using the philosophy of the Zen Buddhism.
Yeah.
No? So mentally. Okay. And this is one of the things. Then we have many things we do. It's a kind of the brain wave. I am also using electric.
Yes.
How the brain works.
Yeah.
You know, all those things. So it's a mentally religious way, and we have an answer from the scientific way. And you know how I have been tested many. This is not me, but how the brain waves.
Yeah.
So I know all the things by I can prove my activity by scientific way.
Yes.
And religious way. So we have the answer. So next time, we discuss how to focus.
Okay. So we are doing a part 3. In the future, and so I thank you so much for your time. So
yes, okay, yeah,
thank you so much. Okay, have a nice day.